Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be discussing the future perfect continuous tense. This tense can also be called as future perfect progressive tense. So when do we use this tense? Just have a look here. Expresses an action that will be going on up to some point of time in future. So here if we see, we have future perfect continuous. Now what does perfect tense indicate? Perfect tense means if any work has been completed, that is the perfect tense. If a work is continuously going on, that is continuous tense. And future is the future tense. Now what is this future perfect continuous tense? That is, an action will start and will continuously go on and will stop after some point of time. An action will start in future, will continuously go on for certain time and will stop in future. That is the future perfect continuous tense over there. Now let's understand this tense by the structure. So the structure goes like this: subject plus shall have been or will have been plus V1 plus ing plus objective. Okay, we'll discuss something regarding the subject. So subjects we have here I and we. I is first person singular and we is first person plural. And whenever I and we has come in a structure or in a sentence, in the future perfect continuous tense, now we'll be using shall have been. I shall have been plus V1 plus ing. And in the same fashion, you, that is the second person singular and plural, he, she, it, third person singular, they, third person plural. And whenever these subjects have come in a sentence, in this tense, then we'll be going with will have been plus V1 plus ing plus objective. This is how we generally make sentences by using these particular subjects over there. In order to make sentences with these particular subjects in this tense, are there any clue words? Yes, there are two clue words. There is altogether since and for. Generally, in the present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense and future perfect continuous tense also, we have the clue words like since and for. Okay, since and for will generally act as the clue words. These would help us in finding the exact answer for the questions which are given in the competitive exams. For example, I shall have been living in Delhi for 5 years. Now for is the clue word over there. Let's make one more example by using since. For example, my friend shall have been waiting since morning for IPL tickets. Now here we have since. Okay, that's all together the since morning over there. Now in this fashion, we'll be making examples by using since and for, etc. Now we'll try to understand where this since and for can be used in a sentence. So generally, since means point of time or exact point of time. So whenever exact point of time is given, then we'll be using since over there. For example, just see over here, since Monday, since Tuesday, since Wednesday. When dates are given, 1st of May, since 1st of May, since 7th of May, since 15th of August 1947, since 26th January 1950, years, since 2005, since 2020, months, since January, since February, clock. For example, when you are mentioning the time over there, for example, since 7 o'clock, since 8 o'clock. Next we have parts of each day. For example, since morning, since evening, since last night. In this fashion, we will be mentioning since over there. So what is since? Since is when exact point of time is given, when exact time frame. For example, since 7 o'clock, exact all these are the areas where we'll be using since over there. In the same fashion, now let's look into for. Now when do we use for? For is an area where period of time is mentioned. It's not exact point of time, but it is period of time. For example, 1 to 30 years is a period of time. It's a long period of time. Now, duration of time. For example, the duration of time would be, for example, I said 1 to 30 years. That can also be the duration of time. That's altogether the total time. Now here, the major difference would be, this is the exact point of time that tells us. And this is not the exact point of time, but this is the duration of time or period of time or the total time. Let's understand this. I shall have been living in Delhi for the last 10 years. When I said here, for the last 10 years, that means I'm not mentioning here which 10 years it is. This 10 years has been a part in 1980 or 1950 or 1900. I'm not specially mentioning there any year over there. The same example, if you look, I shall have been living in Delhi since 1947, I said. That means when I use since over there, that is exact point of time over there. Okay, so in that fashion, since and for can be used. Let's understand the future perfect continuous tense with certain examples and the questions. Just look over here. Whenever a sentence given in future perfect continuous tense, the first part of the sentence would be in this tense and the second part of the sentence would be in the simple present tense altogether. So let's see an example pertaining to this structure. Sachin will have been living in US for 1 year by the time Trump becomes president next year. Now generally if you see this particular question, Sachin will have been living in US for 1 year is the first part. By the time Trump becomes president next year can be taken as the second part. Now the first part of the sentence is in the future perfect continuous tense and the second part of the sentence is in simple present tense. Now just look over here. Trump becomes president. Now this becomes is V5. So generally in present simple present tense, whenever he, she, it has come plus V5 plus objective. So this is how we generally write. Now Trump is a male person, that is he plus V5, that means becomes. Becomes is V5 over there. So Trump becomes president next year. Is it clear? So what is the condition now? The first part of the sentence would be in future perfect continuous tense and the second part of the sentence would be in simple present tense. See the next question. By the end of this year, she dash staying in Canada for 10 months. Based on the concept that we have learned, now we can very simply say that it has been like she will have been staying in Canada for 10 months. Okay, so this is how we can solve the questions pertaining to the future perfect continuous tense. Now here one important point is future perfect continuous tense is a topic which is negligible when considered in exams. So mostly no question would be asked from this particular tense. And it is even very tough even for usage of common people also. So that's the reason they would not give priority to this particular tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Thank you.